The winner of the International Booker Prize 2025 is Heart Lamp by Banu Mushtaq, translated by Deepa Basti.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new edition of Let's Book It. Today, we have the pleasure of having with us Banu Mushtaq, International Award winner of the Booker Prize, and also a committed activist and lawyer. Along with this, she has also had other roles that she has carried all through her life of a homemaker and mother, things that all women are expected to carry out anyway. She has brought all this, all her life, into her literature and more. And for this reason, today's episode is very important and special for us. Welcome, Banu, to our edition of Let's Book It.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm Paramita Ghosh, Deputy Editor of the New Indian Express.
Okay. Pleased to meet you.
And I'm a features writer with the New Indian Express.
Yes. Namaste.
Banu, does writing get complicated with an award, and how have you kept the pressure off?
Yeah, I think awards bring joy, but they also bring expectation. Earlier, I was to myself, I had lot of me time. I would have a good meal, hearty sleep, and everything was going on well. But after the award, everything has changed, and lot of traveling is there. I meet many people. I discuss with them. There will be more interviews and lot of interaction will be going on. I lose my personal time, but I am happy. I meet with the people. That's what it was interested to me from the beginning itself. I interact with them, and it has given me special energy to write. But hitherto, I have not written. After the Booker Award, I have not written anything that I can remember because I am too busy. But it has given me a lot of confidence, encouragement, and also writing remains a deeply private act when people watch, and even while they don't watch also. I am feel responsibility, and I'm happy about it.
So, ma'am, can you tell us about the first story that you wrote in your life and what made you write that first sentence of your story? It must have come from a place of emotion, thought, or feeling.
Yes, normally there will be a lot of emotion
Yeah.
when I begin writing. But I was in the habit of writing from my childhood only, because first sentence I cannot remember. It cannot happen in a later stage. It happened in my primary class itself when I started writing so many stories. Earlier, I used to copy and paste from whatever I read, and my father knew it. Even then, he encouraged me a lot. But further, when I wrote a story, whenever I wrote a full fledged story of mine, it was only when I was a teenager. And, uh, and I was in college, and I thought I would like write a story. And I wrote about a woman uh, who who faced a lot of tension due to her matrimonial life, and she tried and she attempted, and she was successful in committing suicide. I don't know why I wrote it. I never had any previous experience, but I wrote that story, and the caption was, am I the culprit? Am I aparadi? Nanu aparadiye. Am I the culprit? That was the story. But unfortunately, I don't have any manuscript of it or anything I have not preserved it.
Right.
But I know it was published in a very prominent weekly in Kannada, and that anybody would be happy if his or her story would have been published in that magazine. It was a Prajamata magazine, and I clearly remember the cover page of the that weekly magazine, and the prints, everything I could see, but I don't remember the story, and I
That's okay.
have not preserved it.
Banu, you are writing an autobiography. Uh,
Yes.
the question that always comes to everyone's mind is how truthful can a memoir really be? And are there things that you are definitely going to put on record in this autobiography?
Yes, I have heard some people say autobiographies, the people, the writer won't tell the truth. But I want to say the truth because truth in memoir is layered. There is the truth of events and then the truth of what they meant in fiction. I could wear masks in memoir, I must walk bare. That is the um, truth of the memoir. But even so, memory is a tricky alley. What I'm determined to put on record now are the silences. I once endured the struggles of being a Muslim woman writer, the inner politics of literary spaces, the fires, joys, and quiet devastations that shaped me. This is not a confection, it is a witnessing. So there will be no complaints. I will not ask somebody and I will not detain somebody as a prisoner. I don't accuse them, but I want to bear myself, my life. I want to say so many things which are many layered in my autobiography.
Ma'am, in your story, Heart Lamb, Mehrun's despair and she's eventually rescued by her daughter, and that feels very intimate and haunting. And you've previously shared that the story is drawn from your own experience. So, how did you find the emotional distance and the strength to kind of fictionalize that pain?
Uh, the story
Mhm.
carried the scent of my wounds. To write it, I had to step aside and let Mehrun speak, not
Mhm.
as me, but as someone with her own voice, her own despair. Distance did not come easily. It came with time, with tears, with trust in the healing power of fiction. Writing it was cathartic, but not sentimental. I wanted the truth, but sculpted through story. Even then, I was highly emotional when I tried to commit suicide, when I poured kerosene on me. But it was a different story with Mehrun. She had nobody. She had despair only as her companion, not even her marital home or matrimonial home. Nobody supported her. And she was at the brink, at the verge of drowning. And at that time, the support system came from her daughter, who was minor, inexperienced. But at those times, when there will be conflict between the parents, the children, they will be more experienced and they will be more versatile and they will be more understanding. That's what happened with Salma. She
Okay.
became an adult. She lost her childhood.
Right. Banu, there are so many mixed emotions in your stories. I mean, there are no whitewashed heroines, and there are no men who are just all out villains either. For example, in the high heel shoe, Nayaz feels impotent in the face of his brother's success, but he also loves his wife, but he also tortures her in the sense he insists that she squeeze her toe into a fancy shoe and walk even while she's pregnant. So, my
Yes.
question is, in your stories, why do women put up with so much male nonsense, their terrible demands, even sometimes at the cost of their own lives?
Because what else they have got? What option they have got? Patriarchy starts from home. If she rejects the relationship, and even if she goes out, where will she go on land? Everybody predators are present. Even in office, she has to earn for herself, and she has to get shelter, and she has to get support, and she has to live like a human being. She has to earn. Where will she earn? She has to go to an office, she has to go to a school, or she has to beg in the road, or she has to go for any go and work as a household help. But everybody, the patriarchy rules. Then where should she go?
Right.
Even in politics, there is patriarchy. They abuse women politicians as somewhat characterless beings. They say a lot of nonsense towards these women politicians, and that is a kind of politics they practice. And where shall an aggrieved woman should go? Should she go to her mother's home? Like Mehrun, she will be turned out, and her husband will desert her. And if she has to go and earn, the master will misuse her. There will be patriarchy. Even if she dies, even there also patriarchal values remain. That's why she has to live, she has to endure, and she wants to protest in her own way. And the cruelty and violence might be much shown, or it may be silent. She has to endure this cruelty and violence, and either she has to laugh or she has to weep, but she has to continue there. If she breaks the tie, where will she go? She will not have any shelter. That is the issue. If easily she could get a shelter, I think many of the women, 50% of the women will leave their counterparts. But it cannot happen. They are not safe anywhere. Even the child is not safe in the womb of her mother. A girl child, she will be detected and she will be aborted. Even in her mother's womb, she is not safe. This is the patriarchal value. Where she has to go? Even the mother doesn't want to abort it. The societal values, the patriarchal values, they dictate her, and there will be a fine holding there. You spend 600 rupees now, and you save 6 lakhs when she grows up. That is the hoarding visa throughout Rajasthan. Even when the fetus is not safe in its mother womb, where shall she go? There is no place. That's why she remains with him.
Ma'am, you started writing during the Bandaya Sahitya movement in Karnataka during the 70s and 80s. How
Yes.
did being part of that very bold and rebellious space shape your writing? Not just in terms of what you wanted to say, but also how you chose to say it, the form and the style. And do you still feel that spirit in your writing?
Yes, of course, Banda gave me permission to get angry in Kannada because, and it allowed me to write Ra Banda Sahitya Sangatne and to disrupt. I was one of the few Muslim women in that space.
Yeah.
It was liberating and isolating. The fires a solidarity with others who burned with questions, a feeling of being tokenized, sometimes unheard, but Bandaya made me brave. That is a very, very important thing. That spirit of resistance is in every paragraph I write. Even now, only now I rebel in quieter, more precise ways. And Bandaya, it's a way of life. How you see things, how you pursue them, how you internalize them. That will be the most important thing because but the slogan of Bandaya, it says, Khadgavagali Kavya. Khadgavagali, it's a sword. Let this sword become a poem. So they were even the Bandaya people, they want sword to write a poem. It is so human. It doesn't want sword to cut the people. It wants sword to unite the people. Bandaya. That is the spirit of the Bandaya. So Bandaya gave me lot of confidence, and I it allowed me not only it allowed space for me to not only space to write, but also it gave me strength and energy to write, and also it allowed me to be use my craftsmanship and be a story or a poem or essay. It has to be highly creative. That creativeness also imbibed in me through Pandaya.
Banu, in a recent meet, I saw the question of you being a woman and a Muslim woman posed in a different way. It was kind of asked that in the form of question, when will we see other communities in your stories, and why have we not seen them yet? What is your response to that?
Yeah, my earlier, the main question haunted us, the writers, Banda's writers, was to have a society of which promote equality among them. And Bandaya challenged caste hegemony, gender, economic oppression, all these things. That was the main issues for them. But after Babri Masjid, my writing style, my priorities, it changed. I asked questions about demonization of Muslims, denial of rights to them, and denial of democratic rights to them, denial of jobs to them, and why Muslims are treated as second class citizens. All these questions arose, and I have uh, explored these issues through my stories. But in my first collection, Heart Lamp, these stories are not added.
Yes.
Have interaction with other community people also in my stories, and I have written a lot of stories with the subjects that you referred now, but they are not included in my first collection, Heart Lamp. And right now, another I have written about say 6 collections have been published, and a poem collection is also published. In those 6 collection of stories, there are about 60 plus stories. Only 12 have been selected in Heart Lamp, and remaining stories are there. Right now,
Right.
15 stories they are getting translated now, and they will come up in my second book. There you will see lot of
Right.
characters, lot of I mean various subjects I have dealt with, and I have interaction with the other community people also, and you will witness all those things there.
Right. You've also talked of class conflict and division between the rich and poor, but in very gentle ways. For example, in the Red Lungi story about Khatma, you've shown how the rich fuss about their boys' circumcision while the poor boy heals without a fuss. There was also an interesting character of a Hindu doctor who was being asked to do the Khatma. Any reason for that touch?
Yes, of course. There is no bar. For that surgery, it is a surgery. And to undergo a surgery, Muslims, they just don't differentiate whether he is a Muslim doctor or Hindu doctor. It is allowed, and they will go with whatever doctor. Just as I go to any doctor of
Right.
my choice to get treated for fever or cough or my stomach ache or any such thing like that, Muslims go to any doctor of any caste. They don't differentiate. They will get, medicine or surgery done. It is not imperative on them only to go to a Muslim doctor only. They will go and get that surgery done with any doctor. It is not
Right.
a issue with them.
Right.
So finally, ma'am, what do you hope your stories will mean to the next generation of women who are writing, resisting, and still trying to be heard in our society?
It will reach wherever there is patriarchy.
Yeah.
My stories are reaching there. Not only reaching there, they're resonating there. People are liking, people are saying wherever throughout the world. Booker juries, they told that these stories are relevant because they have got universality. It is not considered as the issues of only Muslim women. It is the issues of all the women who are troubled, tortured, and enslaved by the parameters of this patriarchy. That's why they are, heard everywhere. And whenever, wherever, till what time patriarchy prevails in this world, till then, my stories will be heard, they will be discussed, they will be cherished, and these stories will haunt the readers like anything till the patriarchy remains. And patriarchy, it is it is persisting from last thousands of years. When we had, uh, the mother-oriented culture in olden days, it was gradually, changed to patriarchal qualities. From matriarchal system, when patriarchal system got over it, even in Middle Ages in London, in Britain, all the medicine was given by the women. It was their traditionally, it was inherited from mother to daughter, like that. The medicine was inherited, but the doctors, male doctors, they wanted to get hold of this medicinal system, and they discouraged women from practicing medicine. But when they persisted and insisted to practice, they were burnt alive in the name of witches. So women are subjected to cruelty, and their power of medicine, power of emotions, power of love, and these powers were snatched from the women only to be commercialized. Now we can see comfortably an ad. If you love your wife, get this solitaire to her. That is a parameter of love, that emotion. So whenever, till what time this patriarchy remains, till then my stories will be heard. I'm damn sure about it.
Thank you, Banu, for spending the time to talk to us. And we hope to catch up with you when your autobiography is out year
Yes,
end. Thank you so
thank
much.
you.
Thank you.